Why is there vape juice in the fridge? What the fuck? Audrey's just gonna sit there and play Minecraft all day. We're gonna be welding a diff to do some mad skids. Well, actually not we, but our neighbor, Mike from Red Mist Automotive, is gonna be welding the diff today. And then we're gonna be putting it back in the car. Here it is, nice open diff. Probably could use some more cleaning, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna clean it a little bit more. I'm just gonna like bake the shit out of it with my blowtorch. Got all those little things you see getting lit on fire. Not good. Let's go weld the diff, boys. Really gotta fix this too. Little cloggy fender syndrome. Also, the entire shop currently smells like a mixture of diff fluid and just moldy shit. So we got this clean linen Glade plugins. We're gonna put one in the office and one out here. The other one's going right here. It's gonna smell like clean linen soon. Make it smell good in here, please. There's the welded diff. We got some nice beads on this boy. It's now all ready to go in. So what we have to do is we're going to have to put it back together, put the axle things back in, fill it with fluid, tighten everything down, and then we put it into the car. And yeah, and then, you know, put the exhaust back on and everything. So I know what I'm doing now, so it shouldn't take too long. I'm guessing like a couple hours to get it back in there. I'm hoping a couple hours to get it back in there. We'll see. It might be a little difficult to finagle it in there, but for now, we're gonna go ahead and use some gray gasket maker on our little pumpkin. All right, we put quite a lot in there, so that's good. Look, they're both spinning in the same direction. That, my friends, is a welded diff. So we got the housing all put back together. I used a lot of RTV, but you know what? Now it won't leak, so that's all good. We got the two axle things in there. Now we have to fill the diff with fluid. I'll probably wait a little bit for the RTV to dry, but this is the fill plug. You take the fill plug out and you fill it with fluid until the fluid starts dripping back out of the fill plug. The reason why we're not doing this in the car is because, well, it's gonna be easier out here because I don't have to weave my way in there. So, and this thing only takes 1.3 quarts of fluid, so it adds like half a pound, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Crack this loose. I hate the smell of diff fluid. It smells like weird honey. It smells like spoiled honey, kind of. Oh, and there we are. It's now full. All right, so I want to show you guys where this diff sits in here. So here we have the diff cradle right there, and pretty much the diff will sit right in that little crevice. As you can see, that's the drive shaft right over there. Look at that. That's where those two bolts attach the diff to the diff cradle. And then the two big bolts that go up on those studs right there. So pretty much what we have to do is we have to get the diff right here and then snake the front up and into that cradle and align those two bolts and then jack both up onto the stud. This shouldn't be too hard, but I do only have myself, so we'll see. Alright, so the diff is mostly in. Alright, so I got the two cradle bolts in, as you can see right there. That's holding the diff cradle to the diff. Now I just have to torque those down, and obviously I can't get a wrench in there, so impact gun. This is on its lowest setting, of course. So now what I can do is I can jack up this all the way. Put the mounts back on. All right, so all the axles and the drive shaft, they're all connected. All the bolts are in. I just need to tighten stuff down in order to be able to tighten it, because, you know, obviously it'll rotate if you try to use a wrench. What you do is you put it in 5th gear and pull the e-brake. That should lock the trans and thus lock the diff and make it so you can actually tighten stuff down without using an impact gun, which you don't want to use on small bolts like this. The diff and everything associated with the diff is all tightened up. I could essentially drop the car and drive it right now, but it is open headers. And no, I'm not gonna start it. Doesn't have brap because it doesn't have a bridge port. But yeah, I have to get the exhaust back on here. And in order to really finalize it, I have to get a new exhaust gasket and some new bolts. But we'll get it up there, just hanging, and then we'll go to the store, get the stuff we need, and yeah. As you can see, the exhaust is all connected, besides right at the cat. So much easier to put stuff back together than it is to take it apart. So let's start it, make sure the exhaust isn't leaking first. That was a failure. It is leaking. It's leaking big time, so let's try to fix it. I've been stuck on this exhaust for like a couple hours now. I've tried a ton of different things to get it to stop leaking, but it turns out the previous owner used an aftermarket catalytic converter that wasn't, I mean, originally for this car, and you just welded it in. So the flanges, they don't fit. So when I went to get an exhaust gasket, it didn't fit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get a test pipe for it, and that will come with 2 exhaust flanges. Plus I wanna split frames anyway, so gotta get rid of that cat. But the exhaust leak isn't too awful. I wanna drive it. I'm very excited to drive it, so we're gonna drive it anyway. Let's go ahead. So now it's raining, and I just welded my diff. I wonder what we're gonna do. Google Maps says it's like a 24-hour drive, but we're going to Mexico, boys. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I just wanna do like a donut or 2. See how it feels. So that's what we're gonna do. Oh yeah. Oh buddy, it's definitely a welded diff, that's for sure. You just like clutch it. Okay, and that's literally all we're gonna do, because do you see all the shit in the back of my car? Probably not, but there's a lot of it, and it's getting ruined. My camera bag was over here 2 seconds ago. All right, we'll worry about that later. Pick this guy up. All right, let's go home. The one thing I am noticing already is that driving in the rain, at least with a welded diff, is a little bit sketchy. I was merging onto this highway, and you know how it's a big winding corner? Or not necessarily big, but it's a winding corner, and I'm in 4th gear, right? Right now I'm in 5th, but I was in 4th gear, and I put a little bit of throttle down, and the tail kicks out. And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? It kind of scared me, but it's also fun. So you know what? As long as you're a good driver and you know what to do when your car kicks out, you're fine. Which thankfully I do, to a certain extent. Obviously, I ain't the best drifter, but I know how to catch it at least. Also, how sick are these orange gauges? Like, they're just so dope. Look at that. All this orange everything. I love amber. That's what it is, not orange. I think that's gonna be it for today. I don't really have anything else planned. Something might be after this clip. If there is, then that's not it for today. But if there isn't, that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. While you're watching this, I'm currently in Paris. I'm currently in Paris and having fun and whatnot on my actual vacation. So sorry, but there might be a lack of videos. Hopefully you guys understand, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.